Alice, what are you doing now? Are you still preparing for breakfast? I need to talk to you. Can you get back to me right away? Hey, didn't you check my message? Alice, reply to me. It's not like you haven't seen it, right? How long are you going to ignore me? I just noticed your message, Ambrosia. Good morning. I was hanging the laundry and didn't have a chance to check my cell phone. Sorry about that. I'm going to go out with my son, so I have to get ready. How can you complain so much in the morning? You work so slowly, but you keep telling me about your excuses. If your son, Kevin, learns from you, I have no doubt that he'll become an incompetent man in the future. I won't allow that. Children watch their mother's behavior, so you should be careful of how you behave. Excuses? I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. More importantly, what are you doing here so early in the morning? Oh, I forgot. As I was saying, for Kevin's sake, you need to be a good mother. Yes, I'm doing my best every day to accomplish that. Really? I don't think so from what I saw this morning. You don't have to try so hard. People say that children are the mirror of their parents. You have to be diligent and practice hard work. I'm fully aware of that. I want to be a good example for my son. I can't trust you. I've been watching you for a long time. To begin with, I've seen that you can't even do your duties as my son's wife properly. With a useless wife like you, I feel sorry for both my son and your son. Seems that you're not taking care of them properly. That's a terrible thing to say, Ambrosia. I take good care of my husband and son. As I always tell you, I do my housework without cutting any corners. Don't be so overbearing. You're a housewife, so you're supposed to do the housework. Stop kidding me, okay? Doing housework is your duty. Plus, you must love your husband and son too. What about that? Can you say with confidence that you're doing that properly? I don't know how you see me as a person. I treat my husband and son with love. My husband, Albert, is a very capable man. He cooks for me and he's been very helpful. What? You're making the breadwinner of the family do the cooking? What on earth do you think you're doing? Why are you asking that? It's normal for men to cook nowadays. Besides, most of the top chefs are men. In my opinion, men are better at creating subtle flavors than women. Did I say something to offend you? That's impossible. I mean, are you out of your mind? You shouldn't let my son cook. I beg your pardon? My husband told me that he likes to cook. Fortunately, I don't work a lot of overtime and I get home early. He does it voluntarily. I don't have to rush to pick up Kevin from daycare, and I can get other things done, so I'm really grateful. Aren't you ashamed you let your husband do that? What are you doing? Cooking is a wife's job, right? You're just cutting corners by making my son do your job. For your information, he's not your housekeeper. Housekeeper? Why are you talking like that? I never thought of him as a housekeeper. So please, don't be rude. What you just said was terrible. Listen carefully. You don't know what you're doing because you've never hired a housekeeper before. What you're doing is like hiring a housekeeper. I'm sure my son feels the same way. I made him stay with you because I thought it would make him happy. I should have stopped him if it was going to end like this. As his mother, I regretted that I let him live together with you. I'm sorry to hear that, but my husband really likes cooking. He always seems to enjoy cooking. I think he does it for the sake of our family. I don't think he does it out of spite. That's a very selfish thing to say. Do you really know how Albert feels? What? He grew up in a completely different family than you. In our family, I did all the housework. Albert has been watching how I did my duty as a mother and wife since he was little. I believe that housework, not just cooking, is something a wife is supposed to do. That's all I know. That may be true, but are you making excuses again? That's just the way it is. Do you know why Albert cooks? I think he's trying to help me. You really are optimistic, aren't you? What do you mean? It's because your cooking is bad. Albert decided to cook because he doesn't want to eat bad food every day. He has no choice. It must be depressing to be forced to eat bad food every day. Whenever Albert ate my food, he always said that it's delicious. He even had second helpings. I don't think my cooking is that bad. You really are brazen. You should have noticed what's on Albert's mind if you really care about him. He is a kind boy, so he can't tell you the truth. Albert is a really kind person. My son and I both live with his support. I'm very grateful that Albert understands how I feel. You don't need to worry about us, Ambrosia. How can you say that so plausibly? Don't make me laugh. I've raised Albert all my life, and I know him better than anyone in this entire world. He's a sweet boy, so I'm sure he puts up with a lot. If you're saying that you can't do the housework, let me handle that on behalf of you then. You need help, don't you? I don't think that's necessary. I'm not in any kind of trouble, so don't worry. How can I trust anything you say when you keep making excuses? If you want, I can take care of both Albert and Kevin at my house. I think that's too much. It can't be helped since you are a useless wife. Excuse me, Ambrosia. I'm about to start work, so please excuse me. You're still working? I told you to quit your job and devote yourself to your son and husband, didn't I? Well, I'm sure sooner or later, Albert will get fed up with you and divorce you. Feel free to do whatever you want. Good evening, Ambrosia. May I have a moment with you? Hey, Alice. What's wrong? I didn't expect you to text me at this hour. I wonder if you're sorry about the other day. It's rare to hear from you. Well, I didn't mean to be rude at this time of night, but... Don't worry about that. You're not the kind of person who cares about time, are you? Excuse me? Because you don't have any common sense. You don't even know what it's like to be a good wife. So what is it? If you're too busy, I'll text you tomorrow. You just texted me, so let's get on with it. You wanted to talk about something, didn't you? Something like you are sorry for what you did the other day? Or that you finally noticed that you're not a good wife? Maybe you're thinking to take care of your husband and son more carefully. If you've changed your mind, I'm always willing to listen. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about that. No kidding. Well, okay. So, what is it? You must have something important to tell me if you're going to go to all this trouble to contact me. Yes. Do you have time this weekend? Saturday or Sunday would be fine. Oh, I'm free either way. What is it? Are you thinking to take me out to dinner because you were sorry for what you've done? No, not that. I'm sorry, but I was wondering if you could come over to my place. Huh? Are you ordering me to come to your house? Why should I obey you? If you want me to come over, why don't you come over here instead? No, it's not my request. Kevin and Albert want you to come here. Are you sure about that? Yes, I am. They both want to see you for the first time in a while. Really? I knew it. They both like me, don't they? I guess so. If it's all right with you, I'd like to have you come over either Saturday or Sunday around noon. Can you arrange your schedule for us? Of course. Well, the earlier the better, so let's make it Saturday, shall we? Saturday then. I'm glad you're coming. But I have one favor to ask. Your favor? You're being so impolite. On Saturday, I'd like you to come at lunch. What? Why? I want to see my son and grandson as soon as possible. Why can't I go early? I have to go out to run an errand in the morning. I think I'll be home around noon. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. If you could come at noon or afternoon, that would be great. I see. Well, looks like I don't have a choice. I don't know if I can trust you or not anyway. Please don't say that. For once, I'd like you to do so. Why are you being so stubborn? Are you perhaps planning to harass me? That's not a nice way of putting it. What do you mean? I know you don't like me, Alice. Using the names of my son and grandson whom I love just to execute your plan is horrible. Executing a nasty plan? I didn't mean it that way. You don't have to fool around. I'm not the kind of person who gets scared by something like that. I don't know what you're up to, but I'm going on Saturday anyway. I really want to meet Albert and Kevin. I'm looking forward to it. I'd appreciate that, but please come during lunch. Okay, I got it. See you then. Ambrosia, can I call you now? Ambrosia, may I ask you to pick up the phone? I'm sorry to keep calling. Please, pick up. I'm calling you. Oh, Alice, what's wrong? Please stop pretending like you don't know anything. I told you, didn't I? I told you to be here at lunchtime. Is that so? I told you many times, and yet you came in the morning. I don't like the way you talk. Is there a problem for coming early? It's a big problem. You threw away mashed potatoes and pancakes, didn't you? Oh, those creepy food on the table? Alice, how many years have you been a housewife? You haven't improved your cooking skills at all. And to begin with, how you served the food was terrible. We are living in the age of trendy cuisine, so I decided to throw away that bad-looking dishes. I don't want Albert and Kevin to eat it. I'm glad I did that before both of them notice. You should be thankful to me. Why did you do such terrible things? You didn't have to throw the pancakes away. Oh, those ugly pancakes? I couldn't even tell if they were round or square or what shape they were. They looked so bad that I threw them away. What? My son made them for you. What? Kevin made them? That's right. Kevin said he wanted to make something for you, so he made them. Well, I helped him, but... What do you mean? Besides, that mashed potatoes, it was made by my husband and son, who said that they wanted to make you happy. They were happily making those together. Stop lying. You just made that up anyway. You did that because you want to hide your poor cooking skills. Of course not. Why were Albert and Kevin cooking? They did it for you. For me? Did you forget what day is tomorrow? Tomorrow? I have no idea. It's your birthday. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Kevin told me that we should make a surprise for you. That's why I asked you to come during lunch. Kevin said that? Yes. Since I'm sure that you have your own plans, we decided to surprise you either on Saturday or Sunday. So I thought I'd ask you to come without telling the details. Kevin isn't good at hiding things, so I decided to contact you. Oh, no. Are you telling me that the mashed potatoes and pancakes were cooked by Albert and Kevin? That's right. They really wanted to see your happy face when you ate those. No way. Why didn't you tell me? That's because it was a surprise. That's why I reminded you over and over again not to come until lunchtime. I can't believe this is really happening. I thought you were up to no good. I wasn't thinking of anything nasty, but since you have a duplicate key to our house, I just wanted to make sure that the surprise won't be ruined. It was all for nothing in the end. Wait, I didn't know anything about that. I thought that dish was made by you. The three of us had gone shopping for flowers in the morning. We went to the florist while talking about how you'll be fascinated by our surprise. But when we got home, everyone was stunned. Kevin was crying so badly. Oh no, Alice, please keep this secret between you and me. Don't ever tell them the truth. I won't forgive you if you tell them. By the way, Kevin is reading your message too. Huh? Of course, Albert too. He's insanely angry. He said he'll never get in touch with you ever again. I can't let that happen. You're Albert's wife, right? Do something about it. Even a wife can't easily change her husband's mind. Besides, if you throw away the food people work so hard to make, I think anyone would be angry. That's why Kevin was crying so sadly. You did such a terrible thing. I'm sorry. Alice, please. I don't want Kevin and Albert to hate me. I want to keep in touch with them as usual from now on. Please do something about it. If you feel that way, please apologize directly to both of them, not to me. I'm not some sort of intermediary. Apologizing to me won't solve anything. Don't be so cold. Well then, I'll leave you to it. I guess Ambrosia felt bad indeed, so she came to our house right after we ended our conversation. She sincerely apologized to my husband and son. My son was crying, and my husband was furious. But seeing Ambrosia apologizing in tears, they eventually forgave her. My husband told his mother that he'll cut ties with her if she dares to do the same mistake again. After this, my mother-in-law gradually became calmer and easier to get along with. Samantha, I have a question I'd like to ask you if you don't mind. I wonder why you texted me out of the blue. Has something bad happened? No, nothing bad happened. I just want to ask about where you were yesterday evening. Yesterday? I was at home. No, I went to pick up the dry cleaning in the evening. I went to your house thinking you'd be there. I was in trouble because no one's home. I'm sorry. My suit was due yesterday. I always go to your house in the evening. Why didn't you at least call me if you're not available? Or did you do that on purpose? No, I didn't. I went out to pick up my suit, so I left the house only for about 10 minutes. Well, that's okay. From now on, call me when you go out in the evening. Got it. But you have a duplicate key to the house, right? So what? I'm your mother-in-law, but I'm a guest to you. Do you want me to enter your house with a duplicate key without your permission? We're family, so it's fine. That's why I gave you a duplicate key. Why are you talking so high and mighty? Who do you think you are? You can't even cook a decent meal? Don't you dare to talk back to me. I'm not trying to offend you. Besides, I cook every day without cutting corners. Are you talking about those bad-looking dishes? You haven't forgotten that I go out of my way to cook for you on your workdays, have you? My son said that my cooking is delicious. Is that so? I also think that your cooking is delicious. Stop blabbering nonsense. I told you to quit your job if you want to get married to my son. You remember that correctly, don't you? I know you're incompetent, but you should remember what you were told. Sorry, I'm not doing my duty properly as your son's wife. I apologize for that. But I take pride in my work. I do my cooking and other household chores well, even if I'm not very good at them. I didn't do anything wrong, so stop preaching me. Silence! How dare you say that? Don't make me laugh. There was dust on the TV, and the laundry was untouched. I take in the laundry in the evening after I get home from work. On work days, I wash them at night and leave them hanging out to dry. Are you telling me to do more than that? I clean the whole house from corner to corner. Even the bedrooms? Of course! I don't want to leave the bedrooms dusty. Edward is allergic to house dust. If you make it worse, it's a big problem. Besides, if he doesn't get a good night's sleep, he'll be exhausted at work. I understand that, but I have my privacy too. I don't want you to go inside the bedroom. What are you talking about? Then why don't you clean it properly? And you should do something about the amount of clothes in your closet. All those clothes are so lame. I couldn't even take a look at them. I think you should just get rid of them right away. What? Did you open my closet? That's just too much. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop. Why should I? It's your fault, isn't it? It's because you haven't been taking care of the house properly. Edward is not a little boy anymore. He's a grown-up, and he's a married man. I don't think he wants you to tell him what to do. Who do you think you're talking to? Don't talk to me as if you know everything about Edward. How long do you think he and I have been together? You guys have only been together for 2 years and married for only 6 months. There is no way you can take care of Edward. I know him the best and I can take care of him. Hey, it's me. Can I talk to you for a minute? Edward? Yes. You're not using your cell phone, are you? Yeah, it's Samantha's. She just showed me all of your messages. Mom, I don't want you messing with us anymore. Huh? What are you talking about, Edward? I'm your mother, and I'm the one who raised you. I'm grateful for that, and I appreciate your hard work, but I'm not a little boy anymore. It's gonna be a problem for my wife if you keep on messing around. Let's give each other some personal space. I'm tired of your selfishness. I want you to leave me and my wife alone. Please don't say that. I can't live without you. You know that, don't you? I'll apologize sincerely and do whatever you want. I've been warning you about this, haven't I? But you never listened to me. Samantha didn't tell me anything, but I noticed your behavior towards her. I'm an adult and also married. I don't need you to take care of me anymore. Frankly, I just want you to let me live my own life. Please, understand that. Edward, don't say that. Don't abandon your mother. I beg you. It's too late. I tried to warn you, but nothing changed. Don't even think to drop me a message for the time being. Wait, Edward. I didn't expect you to treat me so badly. I have no doubt that Samantha has brainwashed you. I don't care about both of you anymore. Is that what you really think? I'm so stunned. Thanks to you, I've learned to look at people's feelings objectively. I'm so grateful for that. Anyway, I'm going to use you as a good role model and accomplish my goal to become a respectable adult. Thank you for helping me during the process. Well, goodbye then. It seems that Ruth, who finally revealed her true feelings to her son, got impatient and called my husband several times. Of course, Edward ignored her. When she found out that her son was serious, she sincerely apologized to us. She even asked me to persuade my husband to forgive her. When my husband found out, he got angrier, and his anger never subsided. Now we are practically insulating Ruth from us. I'm willing to forgive Ruth if my husband wants me to do so, but I guess it's easier said than done.
Sorry for my abruptness. My name is Frances McBeal. Are you Dave Redwood's wife? May I speak with you for a moment? Yes, but I don't think your name is in my friends list, so could you tell me who you are? I apologize for not introducing myself first. I work as your husband's personal assistant. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Miss McBeal. By the way, why did you call me? That's because... I was surprised to hear from you all of a sudden. Did something happen to my husband? Don't tell me he collapsed on a business trip or something. Oh, your husband is fine. He's full of energy, so don't worry. I'm glad to hear that. I was worried because he's been in Texas on a business trip since yesterday. I see. So it seems that your husband told you he went for a business trip. Sorry, I don't understand. I was just thinking what an easygoing wife you are. What? Never mind anyway. I just didn't expect that the wife of my supervisor would be so silly. Isn't it rude to talk like that all of a sudden? You think so? I think you're right. I beg your pardon? I'm sorry if I was rude, but I was being honest. What are you trying to say? Why are you asking me that question? Please don't say it in a meaningful way. I mean, you must have texted me because you have something to say, right? If you don't have anything to say, just leave me alone. Calm down. There's something I want to tell you. By the way, you really believe in your husband, don't you? That's why I said you're easygoing. Huh? Your husband is with me now. That's why I'm able to text you. But how did you know my contact? I looked it up from his phone. Does that mean you looked at it without his permission? That's what it means. Seriously? Because I'm curious about the person I'm in love with, so I was wondering what kind of person his wife is. But I don't think it's okay to do that. I'm in love with him, so it can't be helped. Aren't you curious about what's really going on? About me, for example? I'm in love with your husband. Me and Dave are married. Even if you're married to him, that won't stop me from falling in love with him. Just because you're in love with Dave, do you think you can just do anything you want to do? It's an invasion of privacy to look at someone's cell phone without permission, and that also applies to married couples. You and Dave's are a subordinate, and you just looked at his cell phone. It's just unbelievable. I knew it. What do you mean? Your husband said that you are a pain in the ass. The way you think is so uptight and old-fashioned. Also, you care so much about the details. Did my husband say that to you? He's talking bad about me to you, wasn't he? That's right. He said that you're annoying. Even your messages are troublesome. Seems like I agree with him. We texted each other for the first time today, right? So what? I'm just saying you're a pain in the ass. What's wrong with that? Huh? You said not to look at other people's phones, didn't you? Sounds like you care too much about unimportant things. It's an important matter, of course. What you did was an invasion of privacy. It's so obvious. Nowadays, it's normal to check your boyfriend's phone. My husband is not your boyfriend, is he? You just told me that he's someone you're in love with. You just admire him as your supervisor, right? I've never thought of him as my supervisor. Are you kidding me? I've been aiming on him ever since I joined the company. He's handsome for a man of his age. He's kind to women too. And he makes a lot of money. He's perfect, isn't he? For your information, he is married to me. I just happened to meet him a little late in life. I don't think it's a good idea to be in love with a married man. Doesn't matter. It's rather exciting. I'd be more interested in a wife who's more aggressive, but I didn't realize you were so easygoing. I find you more easygoing than me anyway. What is it that you want? Oh, I forgot to tell you the important thing. I'm sorry. I have nothing to say, so I'll leave you now. Wait a minute. Please listen to me. Do you have anything else you want to say? I feel like an idiot when I'm talking to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm sorry if I are offended, but I want to make something clear. I'm with your husband all day. So what? You don't feel jealous or anything? Like I said before, I'm targeting your husband. Are you telling me that you don't care at all? It doesn't really bother me. What? There might be something going on between the two of us, you know? Even if it's true, it doesn't bother me, because my husband told me about that. He told you? Yes, he did. He said that he'll be on a business trip with a woman subordinate. If he reported it beforehand, it proves he has nothing to hide. You're the only one who thinks about committing something nasty. Excuse me? Are you sure it's just the two of you on this trip? I'm not mistaken. Then there's no problem. Why do you think so? That's not something I want to talk about with you. I'm in love with your husband, you know. I know. Please don't complain about what happens from now on. What do you mean by that? I mean, even if me and your husband start dating each other. You're not dating, you're having an affair. What's wrong with that? Adultery is a serious problem. As long as me and Dave love each other, there's no problem. You're so silly. Honestly speaking, I envy you a little. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I see. That's good to hear. You know what? I'll be spending 2 whole days with the person I'm in love with. It's a business trip, though. I know, but it's just the 2 of us here. How can there be nothing going on when a man and a woman are together? I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to steal Dave away from you. Steal him away? How? He's going to marry me. I'm going to be his wife instead of you, who is lazy and stupid. Marriage is not something you can do alone. Do you understand that? Of course I understand that. Then do your best. What are you talking about? That's my line. Don't be ridiculous. I'm saying I'm going to lose your husband. Aren't you scared or something? If you can do it, go for it then. Don't complain if I really take him away. You don't understand the main problem here, do you? Do you want to have an affair with my husband? It's not adultery. Dave and I are married. If he starts a relationship with you, it's adultery. I'm declaring a battle to you now, win or lose. Oh, that's right. If you're so confident, how about having the loser gets down on her knees? I don't understand. Are you okay? You'll become the loser in this battle. Huh? On the contrary, if there's a way for you to win in your current condition, I'd like to know. Shall I tell you then? By all means. Because I'm younger than you. Yes, you are. Also, I have a nice and soft skin. I don't know about that since I've never met you. I also help Dave with his work. Well, that's your job anyway. I can go to his place whenever I want. That's true. How's that sound to you? I don't care what you say. You don't think I'll beat you, do you? I'm better than you by a long shot. Not at all. Is that the only reason you think you can beat me? I'm surprised. Huh? Why? Because I'm married to Dave. No matter what you do, the adulterer loses. I've done everything right at home, and I also treat him well too. There's no reason for me to lose. You can't guarantee that. Well, it doesn't matter now. It's like I can't get through to you. Is that any way to talk just because you're his wife? Can we end this conversation now? Noted. Anyway, please remember that I'm declaring a battle with you. I'm definitely going to date Dave. I'll be his girlfriend and eventually I'll become his wife. I'll keep that in mind. It's too late to regret what you did today. I'll make sure to save this message. Please do so. It's you who will cry when I take him away from you. So get ready to get down on your knees. Goodbye. Hello again. Thank you for talking with me yesterday. My pleasure. So what can I do for you today? Do you remember what we talked about yesterday? Yes, I do. I'm glad to hear that. I thought you'd forgotten all about it because you're not that smart. Just hurry up and get to the point. About your husband, he responded to my request. Is that so? Yes, we stayed in the same room together. I see. Do you know what this means? After what I said to you yesterday? What? Yesterday I told you that having an affair with a married man is a huge problem, and you didn't even listen to my advice. I'm not going to listen to your advice. Dave said that. He'd date me. I see. How do you feel about that? What do you mean? You feel sad since your husband was taken away by a girl younger than you, right? I wonder what I can say to make you feel better. Please tell me that you'll let me have your husband. Admit the defeat and get down on your knees. Give him to you? Dave isn't some sort of merchandise. By the way, I won't get down on my knees. I love him so much. You're preventing me and Dave from getting along. I've told you many times, I'm married. If you don't know what this means, but I think you're in trouble. You're the one who'll be in trouble. Why? Because your handsome and wealthy husband is taken away from you. You'll be alone. A stupid old hag can't survive on her own. And that's why you're still refusing to accept defeat. You don't understand. You're the one who doesn't get it, Missy. I know everything. I can see into the future. Dave and I are destined to be together. That's a happy way of thinking. I'm very happy. I want to be with him forever. I hope it comes true. I'll be rooting for you. Oh, are you planning to get divorced? That would make me very happy. Me and Dave are planning to get a divorce since a while ago. What? We're getting a divorce. Huh? What do you mean? The divorce was decided a long time ago, so even if you hadn't come to me, I would have left him sooner or later. Am I wasting my time? I don't know about that. When are you getting a divorce? Please hurry up. I'm going to become Dave's wife soon. That's why we're discussing it now. Discussing what? Don't you want a divorce? Isn't there any point in putting it off? On my part, I want a divorce right away, but my husband has a problem, so that's why we're discussing it. What problem? So many people have similar mind as you, therefore I'm having a lot of trouble proceeding the divorce. Huh? You know that, don't you? Know what? My husband has been involved in several relationships with a lot of women like you. That's the truth about him. I'm the only one he's dating with me. He told me so. All the women seem to think so. There are 3 women that I know of. He said there's no one but me. Yesterday he said it was just me. He said that he loves me. I heard those words right from him. I'm sure my husband is manipulating you. That can't be true. He said it's just me. That's what he told me. There's no way he would lie to me. Anyway, we're getting a divorce. I can't believe you're divorcing him. I'm really happy. I think it's too soon to be happy. I'm really happy to hear about the divorce. I want him to be mine as soon as possible. By the way, how old are you? 25. You graduated from college and are working as a personal assistant after that, right? That's right. Why does that have to do with anything? Since you are a college graduate, you are aware about what happens after an affair, aren't you? Don't tell me that you really don't know about it. There's only one path to happiness after an affair. Leaving the wife who is in the way behind. And be united with the man who loves me. There's no other way. Well then, I'll take the good opportunity to teach you then. I don't need you to teach me anything. I'm demanding alimony from my husband. Alimony? My husband was having relationship with several women. So what you told me just now was the truth? Yes, indeed. But Dave said that I was the only one. Maybe my husband was just trying to get you to fall in love with him. People say love is blind. Seems that it's true. I'm sorry you were so easily fooled. Relationship with several women. It seems that you started seeing each other yesterday, but you've had a physical relationship for a long time with Dave, right? Of course, yes. I was the one pleasing him instead of his wife. That is adultery. Huh? As Dave's wife, I'm claiming alimony from the woman Dave has a relationship with. That, of course, applies to you. Huh? There's a lot of evidence left on the messages you sent me. Will I be charged too? Of course. Dave said he'd go out with me. You're going to take money from me and Dave just because we're dating each other? Even if my husband says so, he's still married. It's a different case since he's not single. How much are you going to charge? The going rate is about $10,000. 10,000? That's right. I'll have our lawyer contact you. I'm Dave's girlfriend. Girlfriend or not, you committed adultery of your own violation. You need to take the responsibility of what you've done. Wait a minute. What? I don't have the money to pay for that. Don't you think it's a waste of time to charge me money that can't be paid? I'll get you to pay whatever it takes. I can't pay that. That's your own fault. Please stop charging me. I got all the related messages from you. Even though we're still discussing divorce, I'm shocked that he's having an affair again. But I never intended to have an affair. I intended it to be pure love. Like I said before, there are no excuses for adultery. It's not right to have an affair if you're not ready for it. Then I'll marry Dave and we'll pay for it together. Marriage? I bet that's impossible, because my husband has at least 3 girlfriends who he promised to get married with. A girlfriend like you, who looks at his phone without permission. I'm sure you'll be the first to get excluded from his list. Too bad we don't have a polygamy system in this country. No way! I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this, but I'm going to have her report this to your company. And my husband too, of course. What? It's obvious, isn't it? Please don't do this, I beg you. If the company finds out, I'll get fired. What you've done can't be helped. You'll be punished. I'll give your husband back to you. It's not a matter of giving my husband back to me. Stop asking me to pay for the compensation and also don't tell the company what I've done. I worked hard to get the job. The world isn't that easy. I filed a claim for compensation from my lawyer to Frances. She repeatedly asked me to stop. Of course, I also told the whole story to the company she works for. My husband and Frances were fired for taking advantage of a business trip for personal use. Frances has no severance pay and can no longer pay her rent. Now she is doing a night job that provides her free accommodation.